With our new preset pack for STL ToneHub, people can expect a combination of various curated album tones from records we've worked on, and also new tones that we came up with from scratch for this pack with just the amps and the cabs that we have here at the studio. The last pack that we did was a couple years ago, and a lot of our favorite tones are obviously on some of our most recent projects, so we thought it'd be cool to try to capture those and translate them over to ToneHub. The other thing is, we've got a couple new amps that we didn't have at the time back when we released our first pack, so we really wanted to take the opportunity and capture some different tones that we could get out of those amps. We used a lot of different gear, a lot of good variety of different styles of amps. There are some hard to find amps in there too, like the Cornford. Or we also have a Rev G Mesa dual rectifier rack mount, which is a pretty rare item, which is cool. Some old staples as well, like we have a 5150, 6505, we've got the Bogner Uberschall, we've got a Mesa triple rectifier. We also have a PRS Archon Mesa Boogie Mark V. And mostly the album tones are kind of a variety of different cabinets, but for a lot of the new tones, we used two cabinets, a Freebin 4x12 and a Mesa Recta 4x12. So we've got a pretty good variety, and they're all kind of, at least the album ones are all derived from, records that we made really specific sonic choices on, so that if you hear an album that we recorded and you like the way the guitar sounds on that specific album, you can kind of just dial that up very quickly and get in the ballpark. Obviously, depending on the pickups, and the guitar that you use. What's unique about our tone pack, I think, is that it really reflects the kind of vibe that we go for in a lot of the music that we record. We've been told we have pretty distinctive guitar tones on different albums, and it's never kind of the same. We always try to go for something unique to that particular record that sounds the way it should for the music. We work on a lot of heavy metal and hard rock music primarily, and our guitar tones tend to be pretty high gain for the most part. I like a very distinct, tight low end, a lot of pick attack for aggressive music, very saturated tones. And I also like to, try to focus on trying out different mics and different combinations of cabs. Sometimes I'll record guitar head straight in with a load box and then use an IR and use maybe sometimes a combination of different heads and different cabs and different mics. And I just always thought that that process of kind of messing around and finding creative new sounding things, tone-wise, it was always exciting.
I think people will like this pack because there's a good variety of rhythm, lead, clean guitar tones, just good starting points if you're trying to be creative and just, dive right in and start working. Or, on the flip side, if you're kind of on the back end of a project and you're mixing it and you just want to try some different options. I think it's an exploratory process where we're just trying different combinations of mics and cabs and amps. And so if there's something that you're really chasing, you can quickly just, check a couple different presets and get the sound that you're looking for. And the interface is really easy to, kind of go through. And we tried to name the presets to a point that it's very simple to kind of see, what you're looking for and get that sound dialed in. But the cool thing is that what ToneHub does specifically is actually trace the original sound of the amplifier, and then it's actually modifying each characteristic of that amp. So when you're changing the presence knob, it's not changing, just a presence frequency in general on different tones. It's actually turning the presence knob on that amplifier. And so what's really cool in this technology that I feel like has been pushed forward a little differently than some other things is that you have the ability to almost put yourself in the room of the producer and the artist at that time and grab their tone that they had and be able to tweak it and mess with it to your needs. And to me, that's a really cool innovation that is pushing the technology and the trends forward.
My favorite aspect of ToneHub really has been the cabinet section, where you have a graphical interface and you have a microphone and you can move it around and actually modify the preset, which is pretty awesome if you think about it, because, first and foremost, you're getting kind of a snapshot of a tone that someone had set up with a real amp and a real cab and mics and all that specific stuff that goes into that final tone. But then to be able to take that a step further and continue modifying the tone to suit your needs, it's very helpful. So I've found that incredibly useful in sessions, especially for overdub guitars, where sometimes you need to change the tone of a lead or any overdub to fit in better with the rest of the music. And ToneHub is just a great way to kind of quickly scroll through a lot of great starting points and listen in context and get there faster.